Hi, this is Steve Smith with Falafel Software, and in this quick tutorial we're going to take a walk through some of the new Visual Studio 14 CTP features, specifically around ASP.NET vNext. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is create a new project. Here we're going to select a C# ASP.NET vNext empty web application. You can see in this empty application that we don't have a whole lot. We've got a startup class where we can configure how the application is going to work. You can see that it's using NuGet to build out the rest of the references needed. So if you watch the package manager log, you'll see it grabbing all of the different dependencies that it's going to use. One of the new features in Visual Studio is the project.json file. If we look at that, we'll see all of the dependencies that we have in our project so far. Since this is a minimal empty project, we just have a dependency on Helios, which you can see is still alpha, and we also have some configurations set up. In this case we have a .NET 4.5 configuration. This corresponds to the property page where you can see we're targeting .NET Framework 4.5. If you look under references, these are now organized slightly differently, and they've been bundled together in such a way that you can see all the references for a particular section. Under .NET 4.5 we see these references. Now let's go ahead and add an Mvc Controller and View. To do that, we're going to need to add a dependency on Microsoft ASP.NET MVC. Notice that we get IntelliSense when we're adding these dependencies. Watch the output window when we save. Note that if you delete a dependency, Visual Studio will not delete the various files that it just restored. It's recommended that you don't store these files in source control anyway, but rather resolve them on each individual developer machine that's going to work with the project. Now we need to tell this project in startup that it's going to be working with MVC. To do that, we use the app parameter that's passed in. We're going to use some extension methods that are a part of the framework now. And so you can see add MVC is available now once we add the correct namespace. And then we call app.useMVC. At this point we're ready to create our controllers folder. And we're going to add an MVC controller class. And then do the same thing for views. And we'll print out the current time. Let's run the project. And you can see it works. Next, let's see how we can work with a class library. We need to specify that this is an ASP.NET vNext class library. Unfortunately, the current CTP does not support adding arbitrary class libraries. We're going to create a greeting class that says hello to whoever is passed into it. Now here's our simple greeting class. Now we can tell our web application to depend on this class. We can instantiate our greeting and specify Steve, and we expect that it should say hello Steve. In the view, we just need to adjust our view to specify the viewBag.message. And now we can refresh our page. Notice that I did not build the web project. I just refreshed the page. My Twitter handle is Ardalis. We'll save that. And again, you can see it updates immediately. No need to actually recompile or redeploy or rerun the application. That's all we have time for in this video. Be sure to check out blog.falafel.com for more developer content from the folks at Falafel Software.